everywhere in new build operations and decommissioning over the next 15 years. Combine this with the supply chain, which is supply of nuclear engineers was not following, because as we've seen, numbers of retirees increasing, but also, I mean, if you were in a conference room in Europe right now, a nuclear conference, then you will look around you and you will see a lot of aging nuclear engineers who tend to be male. So that's what we mean by lack of diversity here. This is making it more difficult to replace those nuclear engineers. And also, we have the uncertainty of nuclear programs. As you know, as we've seen at the beginning of the presentation, politics play a big role, finance plays a big role, and obviously nuclear programs are expensive. And as such, the combination of these together means that there is a lot of uncertainty around projects, whether they will be starting today, tomorrow, next year, in 5 years, in 10 years' time. We've seen, for example, Egypt trying to get into nuclear for the last 60 years, but never managed to really do it. And so that makes it very difficult to get people focused on nuclear and wanting to get into nuclear. Why is it important to act now? We're competing with other sectors, of course. And Dr. Yamatashi was talking about this early on, and you know, we see BP, for example, in the UK engaging with young children, and as young as 6 years old. So I really welcome the work done in Japan there to try to counter these activities from oil and gas. And the competition, as in oil and gas sector, has been good at putting together attractive career opportunities, and it's actually crucial that we do the same in nuclear. It takes a long time to train a nuclear engineer to be fully fledged. We're looking at anything between 5 and 10 years, and it also takes a lot of time to gain momentum. And if we want to be able to attract those experts from oil and gas, for example, and that's possible, there are skills there and in construction projects that may be of interest to us in the nuclear sector. Well, we need to act now, because this will take time. And finally, if we do not act now, this will always result with expensive contingency solutions, bringing in expensive engineers on contracts. Now let's have a look at what can be done to attract first, and recruit, and then develop and retain nuclear experts. Attract. It's absolutely crucial. I mean, very often the nuclear sector is on the defensive, and we feel that the nuclear sector actually has got a lot to offer to young grads and people who want to get into a sector. There's a very long-term career opportunities available. Again, Dr. Yamatashi was talking about the advanced technologies that people could get involved with. And I think the combination of these two things make the nuclear sector very attractive. It's important that we create an attractive working environment. And I'm based in Abu Dhabi. I work a lot with the Baraka project, and this is definitely something that helps us a lot, is having a very attractive working environment to get people to move to the UAE. Then the oil and gas sector has definitely been very hot on flexible working conditions. You will be familiar with rotations, allowing young families to have their fathers coming back, you know, every 6 weeks or so back home. And we have to think about the similar approaches in the nuclear sector. Again, as an example, the Baraka project has decided to go with the 4 days on, 3 days off, helping out a lot of families, and helping us in securing nuclear engineers. Again, the problem with diversity is absolutely crucial, and the work that is done with women in nuclear is is amazing, really. That's great that we're getting this association to put focus on the need for women to take part in the nuclear sector. And finally, remuneration packages are important, of course, and I'll come back to this later on, but we need to have innovative remuneration packages with benefits and also bonuses with, going along with milestones, but I'll come back to this. For recruitment, the good news is, in the nuclear program, we're only looking at 10% of the workforce, so actually it felt like it was a very steep hill, maybe it's less so now, and we would need to dissociate two different strategies, one for non-nuclear core skills and one for nuclear core skills. And yes, we're very lucky that actually the global retiree group from the nuclear sector are very keen to help and cascade their knowledge, and we need to still use them wherever possible. Capitalizing on the diversity, again, absolutely crucial, and also going back to what Dr. Yamatashi was talking earlier on, the need for international people. We need to look outside these days. There is no nuclear sector that will be able to find everybody in the country. So we need to cooperate, as Dr. Yamatashi was saying. What can be done to develop and retain clear and motivating career development path, intelligent use of secondments and joint venture, structured knowledge sharing and coaching. Again, something that's been used very efficiently in Baraka, where people are brought in to coach younger staff. It's very efficient. Again, to keep people, we need to remain flexible with the working environmental conditions. And yeah, that's what I was saying earlier on. Absolutely crucial that we have competitive advantage through benefits and rewards. Now, again, very much along the side of what Dr. Yamatashi said, we really believe that nobody can do this by themselves, and that a cooperation on a worldwide basis is required at this stage. And why do we need to do this? Because we want to avoid repeated learning curves. A lot of new countries are getting into nuclear, and they should learn from past lessons. We can pool resources for common objectives as well. At times, a type of skills may be required in one country and then could be transferred to another country once this is not required anymore. We see that with construction projects, for example. Effectively compete with other industries. Again, pooling together is absolutely crucial if you want to be able to attract enough expertise compared to the likes of oil and gas or other construction sectors. And eventually prevent people from leaving the industry. I was talking to Professor Adil Ramit, who works on the MARA project 4 months ago, and he was telling me that he's actually teaching as well a program in College of London. He was telling me that in the last 15 years, he's had only 10% of his students staying in nuclear. He's taught over 250 people, and only 10% of them remain in the nuclear sector. So it's absolutely crucial we act on this. As part of our own efforts, we've created a LinkedIn group called Building and Sustaining a Competent Nuclear Workforce. You're more than welcome to join and to participate, to help out there. In summary, we've seen an increasing activity. Unfortunately, numbers of nuclear engineers dwindling down. We've seen that, yeah, finance, politics are important, but people should be kept in mind as well, and especially expertise of people. We've seen what can be done to attract, recruit, develop and retain, and we've seen that we need to work together. And thank you very much for your help.